beautiful Tuesday, Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah, Wednesday night. Wednesday night. How was
Uh,
your day?
it was good, man. I'm really happy to be here on Latino Free Minds. It's been a long time.
Oh, okay, cool. It looks like the Instagram feed is working, so started those up right now. That's what I was looking up. I
That's
had the
good.
screen up there. Um, but yeah, Wednesday, uh, middle of the summer hasn't been too bad for
For the
where
Central
we
Valley.
yeah
Yeah.
where we reside. I think I saw next weekend was going to be triple digits.
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to that, but I'm really happy that it's been pretty chill here, especially considering last July was like, I think like half the month we were over 100 degrees. I remember on 4th of July it was like 115 degrees last year.
Yeah, yeah.
I only
I
remember that
think
because,
I think the year before, wasn't it like 30 consecutive days at triple digits or something like that? The year
yeah,
before, I think. So
yeah.
that was kind of, I mean, at that point, I guess you kind of get used to it. You adjust to it a little. Sounds crazy,
I
but
don't think you ever get used to over 100 degrees. Um, anything to me, like anything over 100 and 103 is
mhm.
just too hot.
Yeah.
Uh, especially because I ride a motorcycle. Like anything over
Oh, okay.
103, my back is just burning. Doesn't matter what jacket I'm wearing.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Anyways, uh, Daniel, there's a lot cooking. There's a lot cooking lately.
Yeah, yeah. There's big what would you call them? Big plans, big ideas, big just taking a shot, I guess, right?
Are we allowed to divulge some information?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's
Let's
do it,
go.
dude.
So yeah, so we have obviously Latino Free Minds, what everyone's listening to right now. We say
This
over 100,000 people live right now.
this was the start of it all, right? This is the first lead show.
Yeah, yeah.
At,
So first Latino Free Minds, and then from there we had you and Christian hopping in this one also, and now you guys are doing your own. Um, Don't mind us on Tuesdays, and that's I'll get into that right now, but don't mind us. So it's been LFM and DMU for a minute,
yeah,
and people reached out to us and that we're interested in doing their podcast, and obviously we're able to help out however we can.
I just have to point out, it wasn't a few people. There have been a lot of people that have reached out to you, to me, some of the other guys, asking how do you do this because we've been consistent.
Mhm.
Um, you guys have been consistent. I've been with Christian for maybe 3 or 4 months now. It feels like 3 or 4 months. Maybe it's been longer, but you have been doing this for almost 2 years consistently on a weekly basis. And before that, maybe not every week, but you have been doing this for a while now. So uh, let's not underscore that. Let's not underscore that because a lot of people have reached out to you. How do you do it? Um, how can I replicate what you've done? And in the past very few months, you have leveled up. You have scaled up. You've started putting out content almost daily. So I just got to give you your props because we always say it on DMU how we wouldn't be able to do this without you.
Yeah, yeah.
But the reality is that you have been a huge part, um, the foundational part of the shows here at Lead, and you've been helping other podcasts. So, gotta give you your props. Uh, I appreciate what you're doing. I know that the other guys here at Lead appreciate what you're doing, including some of the new folks that are coming on board. I know that they're really excited about the work that you've been putting in because uh, They haven't seen it yet, but you have been laying down some you've been laying down some groundwork for what's to come.
Yeah, no. I mean, I appreciate that, man. But you I can't do it without the team, right? You've been helping out a lot as well behind the scenes, so
I'm new. I'm new.
appreciate
I just stepped in here.
appreciate what you're doing. But no, I mean, yeah, we started what in I want to say November 2022 was when we started LFM, and at the same time we started lead. Um, It used to mean it used to mean Latinos educating against deception. But we changed that because we kind of wanted to have something that, in a sense, you know, gets everybody.
Yeah,
And we changed it to leaders enlightening against deception. Um, and this is our logo here, and we did that with LFM at the same time because we're tired of seeing the manipulation, right?
right.
With others, and it was just something that we felt like, okay, somebody's gonna have to start having these conversations, and you know if it's not us, then who? You know what I mean? It's like, why wait for somebody else? So that's kind of how lead and LFM came about. um and from there, like I said, you and Christian popping in and helping us out, here on Latino Free Minds. Um, then you and Christian started doing Don't Mind Us, which is our second show. And, we've kind of, at the beginning, done here LFM and DMU. It's kind of been like a mix, but,
Mhm.
it's pretty established now. That's you and Christian. So that's our second show. And that's kind of where we've been for
Let's not overlook
a
that
while.
the pilot episodes you started at DMU.
Yeah.
I replaced Daniel for everybody that's watching.
Hey, it's
I
tough.
I I uh I was called in to replace the big dog. So I hate saying that word, by the
That's right. That's good.
way. Yeah, Daniel hit me up and he was like, "Hey, you and Christian got some sort of chemistry," and I was like, "You want to hit that?"
Pause.
Why are you gay?
You and Christian have some kind of chemistry, and I think you guys should take over DMU. And for me, man, I look, I've just gotten started with it, and I feel like I'm loosening up to be able to talk a little bit more.
Mhm.
But there's definitely when you first start getting onto the podcast into podcasting or just talking out publicly, there's certainly some nerves, and I don't know if you felt this, Daniel. There's like a fear of consequences,
A
like
little bit, a little bit.
what's gonna happen if somebody at work finds this or somebody at church finds this and they see me on Don't Mind Us and they hear me
Or a
say
hater finds this.
or a hater, man, there are let me tell you, Daniel, there are some
Don't,
haters out
don't,
there, some
don't.
some lie spreaders. I won't get into that. I won't get into that. Because you know what? Let the hate sit out there on social media. I'm
Yeah,
not going to bring it into my life. If you're watching and you're hate watching, keep doing it. Keep hate watching. We
I feel
love
you.
it. We love it. We hope that you hate share. We hope that you spread it to um, all the Latino exiteers, and we appreciate you. We appreciate you. Um, sorry, it's just the don't mind us that comes out of me.
Hey,
Um,
it happens. It
It
happens.
happens, man, and one day I'm gonna have to pay the piper, but, for today,
No, but I think no, what you're saying, like I think that's why a lot of people don't speak up, right? They're afraid of, like, oh man, what is this person gonna think of me, or what if this person hears it? And it's like,
yeah,
I understand that because I think the past, what, maybe 10, 15 years, it's been something where, like, oh, if you the society, right? Or if you say something wrong or something that's goes against the grain, then, people come at you,
They do.
and it
There's been
still
you
happens to this day, right?
yeah,
So that's why
and
people
to
get
me,
worried.
I have a less of a fear of the, cancel culture because I feel like this next generation that's coming up, they're not as soft as, the people that came just right after us. Because I feel like we weren't soft, but,
Mhm.
like, the next 10 years after us, just
Yeah.
just mashed potatoes, you know? And then now this
Well,
next generation.
that was all the participation trophy era.
Yeah, the
It was right after
participation era.
us.
Yeah, so I feel like, we got some rough skins out there, and we appreciate you guys changing the culture. Um, we hope that you continue to follow us, you continue to tune in, and continue to change the culture the way that you're doing. And we hope to be able to lead the way for some. Obviously,
Mhm.
it's not going to be all of them. We haven't been doing this for years. I know that there's people that have been doing this for years, and they've gotten to a point where they've gotten comfortable. They're no longer putting out original content, but they'll go on X and say things like, "Oh, we should do this, this, and that," and it all seems like in line with what every other big influencer is saying. Which to
Mhm.
us, starting out, we've been doing this since 22. I know people haven't seen me for a long time, but I've always been in contact with Daniel since he started LFM.
Mhm.
He had told me before he started LFM that he was thinking about doing it, and I thought about like telling him like, "Hey, I've been wanting to do a podcast myself," but I had this fear of, man, if what if I go out there politically and I get pushback?
Mhm.
Because I was working in an industry, and I'll be straight up. I was working in technology, and I was afraid that look, if I come out and put my politics out, I'm just not going to get hired anywhere.
Mhm.
But now I gotten to a point where it's just like, look, if you're not going to hire me because of my politics, then you don't deserve the work that I have, the capability of work that I have to put out. So I'm not worried about it anymore because my work speaks for itself. And when I
Mhm.
go to work, I don't talk about politics. I don't talk about church. I'm heavily involved in church. I'm involved in the politics. I might talk to you about volleyball. I play volleyball. I might talk to you about my gym routine, but I'm not going to talk to you about church and politics at work unless you want to go to lunch and talk about it. I'm not afraid to talk about it outside of work, but I have a level of respect for the business. um, with that said, um, again, we appreciate you guys
Mhm.
tremendously for tuning into us. Sometimes it feels, for me, sometimes it feels undeserving, um, but at the same time, um, there's a lot of hard work that the team puts into it. Whether it's every single week making an effort to try to get online on time, to go live, or it's like with Daniel putting out content. It's not just, hey, turn on the camera and let's go. Let me rip for
Mhm.
2 minutes. He studies what he's going to talk about. He spends days preparing. Like, hey, what's this bill? AB 123.
495.
Yeah, what's going on here? What are they putting out? Why is the underground complaining about this? Let me reach out. Let me find out what they're saying about it. Let me really pull it up, read it. Let me put it through some filters, bend it backwards and forwards, and see what's going on. And then he puts together his analysis. And not everything that he looks into makes it to a clip.
No.
What would you say, like 1 in 10?
Yeah. It all depends. And you know, it's a little it's a little I don't want not tough, but like I guess what we choose to put out.
Yeah.
We put because we have to put thought into it. Like, how does if you listen to LFM, we're focused heavily on local. We put priority on that, right? Obviously, the national stuff does matter, but we've said it. We're here in California. What happens here is going to affect us quicker than anything the federal government does, and that's because even though the federal government, you have your majorities here and there, they're slim majorities. They
They
still, in a
are.
sense, have to work together. Here in California, it's a super majority. So whatever the legislation here wants to do, then for the most part, as long as Newsom agrees with it, he'll sign it in. There's been rare occasions where he's vetoed things, but that's extremely rare.
Yeah.
Um, so it's like, what does this mean to, like, people locally? How is this going to help them? You know, um, it's easy to just repost viral stuff, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
anybody can do that,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
to put some thought behind what you want to post and how it's going to, you know, open the thought or the mind of the person to whatever subject you're putting out, that matters too. So a lot of it recently has been heavily focused on our state, and that's just what we're real focused on that, right? You've heard us say, break the blue wave 26, I don't know how many times in the last, what, 2 months, 2 3 months,
Yeah,
a lot.
we've
So
really been pushing that, and no, it needs to be pushed here in California. I said it yesterday, on DMU, on Don't Mind Us, my other podcast, that you know a lot of people message us and comment to us and say, what are you wasting your time for? California's lost. Come to Texas. Come to Tennessee. Come to Florida. We we'll help you get set up. But there are people that reach out and say, we'll pay, come work for my company. We'll pay for you guys to move out here because we like what you're doing. We want you to do that here in Texas. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds so easy, but we have our lives here in California. I grew up here in California. My whole family is here.
Mhm,
My wife is from here. My wife's family is from here. We are entrenched here, and we go outside and we talk to people, and I try not to live in this echo chamber, right?
mhm.
So I talk to people, and they all, not everybody. I mean, there's
A lot.
definitely some super liberals, but there's a lot of folks out there that are like-minded. Not like-minded. I don't want to make it sound like sheep, but common sense minded.
Common sense.
Common
Mhm,
sense minded, and they are like, you know what? I'm getting tired of these Democrats. They're doing these things. Did you see at the school down in this town where they have a boy competing with the girls? It's just not right. I don't think that's right that they're doing that. Or, my kids go to that school, and a lot of kids speak up about it, and they get in trouble. And for us, it's just like, people want to fight here. Yeah,
yeah.
people do want to fight, and where the nation is headed. Realistically, when you see that Gavin Newsom goes on these podcasts with like Sean Ryan, or he goes on with what's the guy from Arizona,
Charlie
Kirk,
Kirk.
yeah, Charlie Kirk, and tries to make it seem like he's so centered. um, what we see is he's priming himself for a presidential campaign. He's not going to admit it because he doesn't want to lose the power here in California, but he's
Mhm,
priming himself for a presidential run. Let's not kid ourselves. And if you really think about what's to come in California, um, if we don't fight for it, this is just a preview of what's to happen on a national level. Now,
mhm.
as common sense individuals here at Latino Free Minds, we hope, well, at least I hope, to speak out so that people can go, you know what? I don't exactly agree with what he has to say. Like, for example, Daniel, the video that I did about immigration reform,
Hmm.
I don't expect anybody to agree with me. Maybe my idea was too extreme. Maybe it wasn't extreme enough. But my attempt was to put something out there so people can start going, you know what? I actually don't agree with what's happening right now. And I don't like what Geo put out. But man, I sure wish they would do something. Get your mind to start thinking. Maybe call up your local representative and be like, "Hey, what are we doing about this?" Because just as an example, here in California, we have a lot of folks here locally that are illegal,
Hmm.
and it really would suck if all the crops out there didn't get picked. Let's just be real. I mean, I'm not trying to say like, oh, illegals are picking crops, and I know because I know there half of the people are like, yeah, tell them, and then the other half is like, that's slave labor. I'm just gonna go with reality. You don't drive down the road here in the Central Valley and see a bunch of high school kids on their summer jobs picking oranges. It's just not the case.
Yeah.
So we have the reality that we're living in right now. We can't just completely pull the band-aid off and expect the economy to be able to sustain that. But that doesn't mean that we should continue to do what we're doing now, because there's definitely a problem with the system. Nobody can deny that there's a problem with the system.
Hmm.
So what do we do? We'll call your
Hmm.
representatives and find out what they're doing about it. Tell them if you don't agree with what they're doing, or tell them if you do agree with what they're doing, because some of them might have been fighting for a certain thing, and they're probably at the end of their road, like, you know what, I'm feeling like I'm tired of doing this fight. Nobody's listening. Nobody cares. And maybe it's going to be your phone call that reignites the fire, and then to keep fighting for it, because at some point these guys got to start convincing the others that a change needs to happen, that there needs to be reform, whether
Hmm.
that's, hey, we need to start enforcing the law that we have now, or we need to adjust the law because of this XYZ. Something needs to be done. Now, my long rambling is to point out that as the show is called Latino Free Minds, we want you guys to know it's not just what um, uh, libs of TikTok puts out there, or Drano and DC Drano, the things that they say how you should think because they're the influencers. Don't just go in line with what they're saying. Don't be sheep. Think for yourself.
Hmm.
Really think about what you think the policies should be. Vote for people that are aligned with what you believe. If there's not somebody that's perfect, find the person that is most aligned with you. That's all that I hope that my contribution at Latino Free Minds, or Don't Mind Us, that's what I hope that my contribution is that you open up your mind and start to think for yourself.
Yeah. No, I think that's kind of been the goal, right?
Hmm.
Overall, and everything that is related to lead. Um, and yeah, we did. We've done a lot of videos on immigration and how we feel and how it works, kind of how we got to this point, what other presidents have done. It's just been a mix of different. It's like what was that saying? It's like you gotta. It's like layered. It's like an onion, right? You gotta peel back every layer. Everything is. There's so many things in there that make this one problem. Um, and we kind of have to acknowledge everything. You can't just. I don't think there's a one solution, whether it's deport everybody, or the other solution is give everybody citizenship. Like, you know what I mean? There's something
Right.
in between that has to get worked out, but people have to seriously start having those conversations instead of just being the extreme here or the extreme over there.
Yeah.
You have to find a way to work it out. You know, just
You
be
you
being
you do.
realistic.
And I think that so the reason that I brought up the conversation was because we are at a point where the Border Patrol and Department of Homeland Security have come out and said, "Hey, we've gotten the crossings way down. It's virtually zero." Okay, so the border is now closed. Am I saying that it's impenetrable? Probably not. But we've gotten to a point where we feel comfortable enough to be able to move to the next thing.
Hmm.
My thing in the last 10 years, because people are always like, reform, reform, reform. Stop looking at the border, start to just do reform. And my thing has always been, well, you can't talk about reform when the floodgates are still open.
Yeah,
You need to seal it off. And then we step back and look at, okay, where are we now? And how do we fix this situation? Um, Here we are now. Here we
hmm,
are, finally, 2025. We're at at virtually zero crossings. Um, we need to start talking about reform. And you know what Donald Trump has been doing on a national level is he's been saying, well, there has been no reform, but there are these laws on the books. We are going to we're going to uphold the law. We're not going to do anything extreme. We're not going to do anything on the minimum level. We are going to uphold the law, and that's it.
that's all they
So
can do.
when ICE goes in and picks people up, dude. Yeah, I mean, it tugs at my heartstrings. It emotionally it hits me because I have friends that are illegal. I have family members that are illegal, and I know that families are getting split up. That's just the reality. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna pretend like it doesn't happen. Um, but at the same time, it's like the reality is that those are our laws and they're being upholded.
Hmm.
They're finally somebody is saying they need to be followed. If you don't like it, change it.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I mean,
there,
and that's all they can do until, like we've been saying, someone and tries to get that solved. But until
yeah,
then, until something changes legally in the law, the books, it is what it is. And hopefully people can work together and see what can come of this,
yeah,
because
exactly.
it's a big problem that's been you
So
know
so
going
so
for years.
so the folks that are watching and those that'll be watching this into the future, you know what we just did for the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes talking about a little bit about politics and our position, not necessarily trying to force people to think a certain way, because at the end of the day, we are free minds, right? We're not Latino sheep minds. We're Latino free minds. So that's just a
Could be
preview
a
of what
podcast.
the show is.
Hit us up.
Yeah, we'll start a whole nother organization. You're not going to be part of lead with. um, no, but it's a snippet of the conversations that you and Danny have on a weekly basis. Every
Yeah.
Wednesday night, people can tune in, and these are the real conversations that you have. You can tune in on Tuesdays, and Christian and I have similar conversations. Um, uh, just be
With a little twist.
a little twist. Uh, it's a little more raw. I'll put it like that.
Hmm.
I try to keep it under control, but hey, hey, when we get started, and it's fun. It's probably rated PG-13. Some days it's rated R. Never rated X.
No, no, no.
Never unrated. But You know, now what we're doing, Daniel, is I don't know if you want to take this moment to announce what's to come.
Yeah, so I guess starting next week, we have one, two, three, four, five, six, officially six podcasts that are under lead. So starting Monday at 7 p.m. And here's the thing, it's like, yes, it's six podcasts, but every podcast runs independently. Every podcast, every host has, you know, made their commitment to run their show, to stick to their day, and they can discuss the topics they want to talk about. We're not here to control people, how they think, how they want to speak, what they want to speak about. We're here to give more voices, right? uh those that are tuning in. And that's kind of the idea, is to amplify the people that are out there, and hearing different perspectives, because we all don't think the same. you know Here within ourselves, we don't always agree on everything, and that's fine. That's the point of having conversations, right? Because for the most part, if you have a conversation, even those tough ones, whether it's with family, friends, or whatnot, you guys are going to come to the realization you agree on a majority of the things you know that if you were to just talk about them, you'd figure it out. But if you focus on the extremes, then yeah, you're never going to have that conversation. So it's just different avenues to kind of get some information. At the end of the day, it's up to you. Well, what you decide that makes sense to you with with the reality that you're living in. And so yeah, so pretty much it's we'll have California Unfiltered on Mondays. So all these shows are going to be streaming at 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. So California Unfiltered will take the Monday slot. Don't Mind Us takes Tuesday. That's where they've been, almost since you guys took it over. So Tuesday, um, obviously here, Latino Free Minds will be on Wednesdays. And then we have two podcasts actually for Thursday. And Thursday is all Spanish. So it'll be Calimente Libre on Thursdays at 7, followed by La Patria at 8. So two shows on Thursday, all Spanish, and Fridays, Point Blank Truth. It's already a podcast, but he's we had conversations, and he's joining the mission that we have here. This whatever you want to call it, right? But we're like I said, we're using voices to ignite change. And yeah, I mean, that's all those shows are going to start next week, so there'll be a different show every day. So if you don't want to listen to us or Geo, then there's other options. So
Yeah.
hey, and
I,
again,
I think it's important, Daniel, to point out that while a lot of these shows are new with lead, um, the uh, the individuals that will be hosting these shows all come with experience.
Mhm.
Monday night on California Unfiltered, you have McKenna Blackman, who's an anchor on OWN
OAN,
OAN.
OAN.
Daniel Silvas, he's a city council member in Southern California. Um, uh, Tuesdays, that's me and Christian. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Until
uh,
you get to Wednesday.
Wednesdays, Latino Free Minds. Sometimes me or Christian might show up and shake things up. No, it's Danny and Daniel,
Yeah.
the original lead host. Wednesday, Calimente
And then
Libre.
got
Who's
that
that?
one's like basically Latino free minds in Spanish. I
It's
mean,
Latino Free Minds
pretty
in
much.
Spanish. And then after that, at eight
We got
o'clock is La Patria,
yeah with
and
Alfred,
that's Alfred
yep,
and
Natasha.
Natasha, who
Mhm.
both Southern California again. They I know Alfred has been putting out content for how long? For years, right?
Yeah, years,
Uh,
years.
some short form, some podcast. Um, he's got a lot of experience. His videos are always great. Natasha has been involved in the political realm down there in Southern
Candidate
California. She's yeah,
for
she was
assembly.
she was a candidate. Um, and Friday is Daniel Medina
Hmm.
from Point Blank Truth, and he has been fighting for school boards down there in Southern California. He has
Single-executive, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
I almost want to say single-handedly,
Mhm.
very much involved in turning a very liberal school board into now a majority conservative school board. Now, why is that important? It's important because um, the specifically with the school board that he's been working on, they have been wanting to put the choice of what kids are learning back into the hands of the parents, taking it away uh, from the teachers unions and these liberal wanting to push certain agendas on kids type situations. What really ignited those sorts of things were like the library readings from transgender folks, people finding out that during sex ed they were teaching things that just genetically didn't make sense, teaching ideologies that parents just thought like, hey, um, let us talk about those sorts of things with our kids. You just teach them the scientific things. Um, so the parents just finally got fed up and leading that somebody that really helped in organizing and fighting that fight down there was Daniel Medina. So um, I have to say that every single show has somebody with a lot of experience. They um, will know a good amount of what they're actually talking about. So be sure to tune in to all the shows. I guarantee that you're gonna like at least one of them.
We have a
So
1 in 6 shot.
once we hook you on Tuesday nights, you're definitely gonna want to watch the other ones.
Yeah, for sure. So, that's what's next. That's what's coming up, and we'll see how it goes. Um, but it should be. It's exciting, and everything that you're gonna get from us is from people giving you their original takes on how they feel about things.
Right.
Nothing is, you know, nothing is clickbaity, nothing is trying to go viral. It's just we're talking about these situations that are happening in our state, cities, country, and we're just talking about them. Again, it's up to you to decide, what you want to believe or not believe,
Yeah.
we can't force you to change your mind.
Yeah, and we mentioned earlier that we have a huge focus on what's going on here in California. Um, it's important to state that every night you'll be dealing with somebody from a different part of California.
Oh
It
yeah.
used to be that Daniel and I are both in the Central Valley, the Fresno area.
Mhm.
We have Daniel and Christian who are up in Northern California. We have now with these hosts, we now are all over California, from San Diego
To the
um,
Bay Area
the Bay
and
Area,
everything in between.
everything in between. And for those
Yeah.
of you folks in the state of Jefferson, don't worry. You have a piece of my heart. Uh, I did grow up in the Sacramento area, but you're all my brothers up there in Jefferson. We'll be putting on the fight down here for you guys, and if you ever secede, take us with you. Just joking. No, seriously, we should be fighting for California. Um,
Yeah.
you know,
And that's what
it's
we're doing, why
yeah,
we're doing it. And, you know, we've said from day one on Latino Free Minds is, we're gonna go until we can't. So
exactly.
yeah, so look forward to that starting Monday. And yeah, follow Real Lead Unite on Instagram. They'll all stream there. All our links are there. You can follow Latino Free Minds on Instagram. If you follow us there, you should be able to find everybody.
Yeah,
DMU Geo, the DMU Pod, CA Unfiltered Pod, La Patria, Calimente Libres. They're all on Instagram now, and we'll grow together. We have YouTube pages for all the shows, and hey,
yeah.
if you
If for the first week or first few weeks you don't exactly know where to go, whatever platform you're on, just search for Real Lead Unite.
mhm.
Um, uh, I think on from day one we'll be on YouTube at Real Lead Unite. Every
Every
podcast
show
will
will
be
be
on there.
there. Yeah. So
Perfect.
um, I'll put a link to that on the I'll put a link to that on the show. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. We kind of just wanted to talk to you guys about what's coming up next week. And if you follow us on Instagram already, we'll let you know where to find everything. But you know, we're ready to rock and roll.
yeah. So we appreciate you guys tuning in.
Yep.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Peace be with you.
Peace out.